Good morning, or at least this morning for me. Hello, everybody. Willie here. Today I've got another matchup guide, the Udyr versus Diana. Took your feedback from last week. I wanted to give you guys a little starter screen. This is going to be a very easy matchup for Udyr. I rate this in terms of difficulty 1 star out of 5. Literally at every single point in the game, even level 2 to 3. If you choose to go for an early invade, but even in the river at level 4. Even when she gets her ultimate, even late game, Udyr at all points in the game wins the 1v1. All you have to do, the general tip, is just use your lightning Q when she's isolated. It'll be very easy to kill her. Most Dianas will try and run into a team fight to avoid you at all costs. In a team fight, just try not to get clumped, and that's kind of literally the matchup in a nutshell there. Look at this second page here. So this is the recap page we had from last time. Both junglers clear very fast. So their clear speed, both Diana and Udyr can clear in about 3:15 on any start. They can do red, raptors, blue. It doesn't really matter. They can start wherever they want. Udyr has hybrid damage, meaning he does physical or magic or a little bit of both, depending on what he wants to pick. Diana is 100% burst magic damage, which is a weakness Diana has relative to you. You can flex into physical damage. She can't. Scaling on both champions is very high. Diana turns into a team engage late game. She's kind of like a Malphite ult, and Udyr turns into kind of a super tank. You can just easily bully most melees at every point in the game. You can play kind of an assassin AD Udyr as well, but usually in this matchup you scale into more of a frontline anti-peel, or peel anti-engage, whatever you want to call it. Preferred start for both junglers is Raptors. We'll get into pathing in the back of the video. Udyr is a sustained DPS champion, I would say, with a little bit of burst. Diana is 100% a glass cannon. Think of her as fiddlesticks. Very similar. Udyr is weak to kite and burst. Diana is weak to tanks and disengage, which Udyr happens to bring a lot of to the table. In terms of things to just keep in mind, Diana players tend to build Zhonya's no matter what in their builds, right? So somewhere in a Diana build, she'll tend to pick Zhonya's, so she's going to have armor and she's going to have ways to stop burst. For that reason, I think you want to have points in Q to be able to one-shot her, but late game you want to usually flex into points in R and pick up an ability damage item or two. That is why I'm actually going to recommend Hybrid Udyr for you guys. If you have not played 5xx5, which is where you max Q first, R second, you build Spear of Chosen first, Riftmaker second. If you have not done that with Phase Rush into Diana, this is one of the easiest matchups for Hybrid Udyr, and it is designed to kill champions like Diana, again, where you want to have points in Q, but they scale into teamfight champions later, so you need to put points into R for the late game. You know, think of champions like Shyvana, Hecarim. All of these champions are great for Hybrid Udyr. So I'm actually going to recommend Phase Rush with Nullifying Orb. It's about to get removed next season, but for now, Nullifying Orb, Axiom Arcanus next season with Absolute Focus and Water Walking. And then in the secondary, just Unflinching and Conditioning. The reason being, Diana tends to build also flat Magic Pin, like Shadow Flame. And what that does is that will allow you to offset all the flat Magic Pin she gets with your Rune page. In addition, you can build specific items to counter Diana, like Serpent's Fang to pop her shield. If you don't know, she gets a lot of shields. Zhonya's on Udyr can be built, and it will stop her engage. The issue is it's got armor on it. By far and away, though, your best option to counter her is Kanik Rookern, which is why if we take a look at the 3 builds that I'm going to recommend to you, Hybrid, Tiger, and Tank, you've got a lot of different options on playstyle. I'm going to recommend Hybrid first, Tiger second, Tank last, just because in this matchup, again, it is so Udyr favored that you should just be using Lightning Q on her and killing her as much as possible. It would be a big missed opportunity to just go straight into Tank, in my opinion, because you're going to be missing on a lot of kills on Diana in her jungle. Final thing I usually do for these segments is let's take a look at how to path into a Diana. Diana tends to full clear, meaning she starts Raptors. Let's say she's red and you're blue. Doesn't matter where you're starting, but she tends to do the Raptor start, which is Raptors to Krugs to red to blue to Grump to blue buff, and then she'll do this crab, try and gank mid, do the other crab, Raptors to Krugs, reset, spend gold. That's what they tend to do, not always. Sometimes you'll even see them do Raptors red to Krugs and then go gank top. To set yourself up the best against everything, I usually just recommend you can either do one of two things. You can either play aggressive, let's say you've got a killable bot lane, Raptors to blue to Gromp, and then go try and kill the bot lane. Is really, really high value if you think you can get away with it. The other thing that you could consider doing is your own Raptor start. So do Raptors to Krugs to red. As you're walking through mid, you'll be here to counter gank her. If the Diana, after doing her Raptor start, tries to gank your mid laner, you'll be walking through mid to counter it. If she heads up and ganks top lane during this time, so let's say, you know, you do your Raptor start and then you're crossing mid and you see her go gank top, you can immediately just turn around and go take her blue and punish her for going for that early level 3 gank. It just leaves you with a lot of options. Of course, then you do this, reset. Usually against Diana, I recommend trying to go to Rift Grubs. It's really important to try and deny Rift Grubs because Diana does them very quickly. Dragons, she does decently fast, but not crazy fast. So it's okay to give Diana a dragon or two. A very important dragon in this matchup is the Chemtech dragon because it boosts your shielding power, I believe. Gives you tenacity and shield strength. This is an insanely high value dragon for both Udyr and Diana. Both of us want it, so if you see a Chemtech dragon, definitely prioritize that. Other than that, Diana really struggles in 1v1s and 2v2s against bruisers. She's really good in 3v3s, 4v4s, and 5v5s. She's also very, very good at engaging and turret diving. So keep in mind that she can force ganks just a lot easier than Udyr can. So you really need to think about that as you're moving around the map and farming your jungle. Diana has very fast clear speed like we talked about in that first slide, so it's hard to punish her. Most Dianas want to power farm, get to their 2 and 3 item spike, and then engage a team fight and win the game. If you can, do any of these early aggressive invade paths like Raptors to blue to Gromp, or you can even do one of my favorites, which is blue Gromp, and then go try and kill her on her Krugs. And if she's already done her Krugs, great, go meet her at her Raptors or her red and kill her there. But if you do either of these clear paths and really try and put pressure on Diana, you at all points in this game win. I'm going to start us back on that first screen we started with because I think I just want to remind you, at all points in the game, you win the 1v1. I consider this one of the easiest matchups for Udyr, so just make sure to play into that and try and kill her as much as you can. Other than that, if you enjoyed this type of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I stream daily on Twitch, so make sure to sub over there. If I've got music off, I also stream on YouTube. Outside of that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Call me so I can make it juicy for ya.